Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you once. Don't make me tell you twice. Y'all better get y'all one of these. It's a fruit salad. But look, as delicious as this is, as much as I could whip up something when need be, it's not Chef Nee, man. But you may ask, who is Chef Nee? Oh, you haven't had the pleasure of trying her food? You didn't get the chance to pull up on her last month at the Lupus showcase that we did at the factory? Well, then you really missing out. But here's what I'll do. I'll do you one better. I'll introduce you to her personally. Are you still tapping in with me though? So let me finish this up. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna finish this up. We're not gonna waste no more time. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Without further ado, enjoy episode 143. Everybody eats. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Down to Business podcast. Look, man, I'm gonna need y'all to bring y'all appetites. I'm gonna need y'all to pull up a chair, get y'all plates, get y'all silverware, utensils, napkins, whatever you do, because we diving into some things today. I'm sitting down with Chef Nee, somebody who I actually connected with very recently. So one, very happy that the turnaround time was just so fast. Very happy that she was very eager to be on this and make this happen with me. But two, I got to try the food, y'all, and she really put it down, y'all. I gotta give a big shout out to my boy. I feel like I've been shouting him out the last few episodes, but he really just been making it happen for me. So big shout out to my boy Jay Coachman, man, for making it
Shout
happen,
out
for
to Jay
connecting
Coachman.
us, for bringing her in. Yeah, so she actually popped up at the Lupus Showcase event that we had. First annual one, so definitely be on the lookout for next year's. But she popped out, man. I walk in, I walk through the event. As soon as I walk in the room, I could smell it. He said, "Yo, you got to go check out the setup. You got to go see what's going on." So what do I see? I see this bright smile. I see this lady sitting behind the counter. I see her. I see the menu up. She said, "Let me know what you want. Let me know what you need." And at one point, she was really the life of the room. She was talking to people, engaging, interacting. They were moving and grooving. So I was excited, man. But naturally, that excitement, it only amplified once once I seen her take the tops off the trays, and once I seen her start serving and everything like that, man, it was to the point where at the end of the event, she started giving out things for the low. I had to hop in. I said, "Hold on, you can't be spreading the word to everybody. You just got to keep this hush hush." But nonetheless, I was very excited to connect with her. When I told her about the podcast, she was eager, all for it, and here we are today. So, Chef Nee, how you doing today? How's everything on your end?
I'm doing wonderful.
Good, good, good. So, for one, I know we're going to have some people tapping in from your side. I know we're going to have some people tapping in from my side. And I know we're going to have some newcomers along the way. So, to make sure everybody is on the same page, to give everybody a fair playing field, can you, one, just tell us a little bit about yourself? And then, can you, two, just tell us what brings you on the podcast today?
Well, I'm Chef Nee. I've been a chef over 13 years. I don't actually have a specialty. I specialize in everything from baking to cooking to infused desserts. Um, what brings me on the podcast is just, getting to know more people, meeting, networking. Plus, I love when people enjoy my food and hype me up. So that just made me more excited to be on here. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me.
Well,
I've been a single mom for 15 years, and cooking has just been my light. It's like everything for me. I'm very passionate about it. When I'm sad, when I'm angry, when I'm mad, I just cook, and I always feel better. So
come on now. All right. Well, you're gonna get a lot of hyping up on this side. I was ready for it. Like I said, Jay never disappoints, and you certainly did not either. So, all right, I want to go back a little bit. I heard it off the rip 13 years ago. So, what were you doing 13 years ago that you were pretty much just like, all right, I'm a home, or maybe you didn't hone in necessarily 13 years ago, but maybe that's when you really started this journey. So take me back 13 years. What really were you doing? Where really was your love within the culinary field? Were you already kind of doing things? Was there an event, or was like there an aha moment where you were like, I'm locking in on this? What was that like for you?
So I got into cooking while I was in foster care. So I had a rough life as a child. And when I was 12 years old, I was going down the wrong path. And before I had my son, they used to let me go in the kitchen and, prepare the foods. We didn't have like from scratch foods in foster care, but we were able to, hook it up. So I was starting like that, hooking it up. Then, I kind of drifted away because I'm naturally an artist, by the way. I was born with the drawing talent, but everybody tried to force that on me. So I kind of like drifted away from drawing. I'm like, well, how can I use my art? When I was 14, I had a baby. Fortunately, life, takes you through journeys. And I decided I need to pick a career that I'm going to be excited about. And when I was 17, I went to culinary art school, graduated, And I had got my first job at a hotel downtown Harbor Island. And I just ever since then I just been so like eager to just be the best I can be, learn as much as I can learn, and really take this cooking to the next level. Like my dream is to be a millionaire off this cooking stuff. So yeah, and being a single mom, I mean, all you got to do is cook. You know, I got a boy, a son. He's 15, and he likes to eat. So I get to experience and try new recipes, and him be my taste tester, his friends be my taste testers, and I really just enjoy. And plus, I'm a people person. I enjoy meeting new people, being around people, and yeah. So I just feel like cooking is my art.
I love that. I love it just from the respect of, that's a lot very early on and things out of your control. But nonetheless, despite, and I won't even really say despite because I feel like sometimes despite brings about a negative connotation. So I'll say with everything that you had going on, with everything that you were going through, your mindset, yes, it shifted. Yes, you were probably thinking different things, good days, bad days, good times, hard times, everything like that. But nonetheless, you still kept that focus so much so to the point 3 years after you were in culinary school. You went, graduated, you did all of that. That's amazing. That's amazing. One, to just be able to do something like that so young, but two, recognize that, look, life threw a lot at me. Some of it was in my control, some of it was out of my control, but I'm gonna control what I can control. And from there, you really move, you made it happen. I know the boys love to eat, so I know he's really been making it happen for you and doing things like that. So okay, so now moving along a little bit. So from Harbor Island, was that really where you would say you kind of got your start? Where really did Tampa come in? Do you still, I know we were even talking too, because I was saying I was trying to do something in Philly and you were telling me, look, I go wherever, I do whatever I need to do, make it happen. So when really did you start moving around? You said you had the first job at the hotel. So what was it like from there? Were you just kind of meeting people? Were you networking, doing different things? People had your cooking? Were they hiring you for different events? What was really the next steps along that journey after that?
So I started in a restaurant. I'm actually still in a restaurant. That's how much I love cooking. Plus, and you got to have two incomes these days. So I actually originally started traveling cooking about 5 or 6 years ago. I had to get my confidence up. So I just worked the restaurants and got my experiences from restaurants, learned a lot of things. Because see, culinary school don't teach you everything. They just really teach you nice skills and the basics. You learn everything from the restaurants. So as I learned everything, I started trying it at home. Then I started trying stuff I couldn't try at the restaurant at home. So then I started with it started with my goddad actually. He has a cigar club he has, and he was like, I know you can cook. You think you can hook me up with something? So I kind of lowballed when I charged him, and I gave him like a plethora of food for like the real low, and I didn't even make no money off of it. But that was my start. He was the one who got me started into like cooking for people and catering. Then after that, I started getting my numbers right, started really taking it serious. And I think my first real event was when, besides my goddad's picking up food and stuff and cooking for family, my first real event was when somebody hired me to come to the hotel and cook for them. And that was a couple years ago. So then after that, I just started investing in my catering business. I mean, down to logos, t-shirts, cards. I really just like went in after that because I was like, okay, people started to really see me. You know what I'm saying? They don't just see me as a girl as at the restaurant. They actually see I can do my own thing. And you see how I put it down. A lot of people can't do that. A lot of people can't pull off a whole bunch of food by themselves and it tastes good. So I just kept perfecting my craft and really just started with that hotel setup. I went there for the anniversary, cooked them a nice 3-course meal, and I learned that from the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody just started booking me after that. They just started sharing me on Facebook, Instagram, and stuff, and just went from there.
And I love to hear that because something that people may not even realize that you spoke about was just a part of the journey where sometimes things are not really always going to go your way. Yes, like we can easily talk about that from the beginning of the interview till now, but you literally just said you lowballed yourself. You lowballed, what you could do, the quality of work, whether it be because it was family, whether it be because you were kind of just new to the industry and didn't necessarily know. But from that, you didn't let that discourage you, deter you. You got positive feedback, positive reviews for them. So if anything, it stamps you even more. You knew what you could do. You knew coming in what you could do. But to hear other people do it, to hear because it's nothing like, me. I'm not a chef, but it's nothing like when you cooking and other people are going to be tasting it or trying, and you kind of looking like, well, hold on, like, well, what's going on here? Like, because it's one thing for me to not like my own food, but to say somebody else tell you they don't like your food, yes, it's a problem then. So, but no, I really hear the part of the journey where sometimes we have to do those things and not make the most money from it. Or sometimes we have to do things and it's not going to be the most lucrative opportunity, but instead you were able to get business cards out. You were able to get your foot in the door. You were able to say, yo, who cooked this food? Oh, that's Chef Nee. Well, I don't even know about her, but now you got people talking about you. And then from there, like you said, higher in the events. A lot of times people want to come right in, whether it be culinary, whether it be podcasting, business, anything, and just want to off the bat, just be that, just hit, just be fired, just go viral, do whatever. And you have to recognize that as, yes, that can happen for some people, but that's not everybody's journey. That's not everybody's MO. That's not everybody's process. And the more and more you, one, not only hone in on your process, but you appreciate it and you grow stronger in it, the better the results will be. Because I know for now, for you, like you said, it's always been a love. It's always been fun. But it's nothing more fun. It's nothing that makes you love it more when you got other people that are enjoying it. Food brings people together. When you hungry, you ain't mad sitting at the dinner table eating. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you ain't mad when something cater when you got the wings coming out and all of that. Y'all, the wings was A1. That's all I'm gonna say. But you ain't mad when you able to enjoy stuff like that. So I love that. Okay, so now growing up, thinking about food, thinking about culinary art school, thinking about all of that, was there anyone who, where did you get a lot of like your motivation from to cook? Where did really the love from cooking stem from or come from? Were there people that you looked up to growing up? Because I know for me, like I said, I'm not a chef, but it's nothing like watching these cooking shows, these cooking channels. These people are putting all these things together. I love Beat Bobby Flay. I want to be on that show so bad just because, no, I
Yes, I
probably
love
ain't going to win, but I'm gonna give him a run for his money. But what were there any people who you were looking to emulate? Did you really just want to be you in your own lane? Was there any motivation that came along the way that really helped you get to where you are right now?
Okay, so back to my story. When I was living in New York, me and my siblings grew up poor. We were hungry. We used to have to steal food from stores. Our mom was a crackhead, basically, and we didn't have no food. We didn't have no family, like father or anything. So I just wanted to make sure. That's why I also do caterings. Because instead of me opening my own restaurant, I actually want my own catering. I want to be able to feed a large amount of people because I come from a large family, 10 brothers and sisters striving to eat. We all had to scrap and get scraps. It was times our mom used to take us in the cold and beg for money. People would give us food and my mom would get mad about that. So I said one day, I'm going to make sure when I get older, I'm never going to be hungry and nobody around me is going to be hungry. So that was like my stem from the strength. And then I used to watch the cooking shows. So Paula Deen, even though Paula Deen was rude when she said the N-word, she actually inspired me, and it has a lot to do with my cooking techniques. The butter goes and everything. I got that from her. You know what I'm saying? So growing up in foster care and not having much to do, and plus being kind of like a bad child from all the problems I've been through, all I could do was watch TV. So I used to just watch Paula and all the cooking shows and just really learn from them. And I started, actually, when I got her cookbooks, started practicing myself. And then that's when I started learning my own techniques and building my own recipes and actually building a recipe book for my son now. Because when I die, I want him to be able to still have my meals. So I got it from Paula Deen.
I like that. I like that a lot. Now, the restaurant, something that we kind of talked about, and Paula, it kind of made me think about it when you were mentioning Paula Dean, because that's when Vaughn, the other guy, he was saying about his aunt who was cooking and everything like that. So now the restaurants, being in these restaurants, whether they hire you, bring you in, everything like that, not always do people have your best intention in mind, your best interest at heart. Not they may love what you do, and that's really it. As long as you're bringing them business, as long as they're making money from it, that's really the distance that they'll keep you at. So now, coming from culinary school, like you said, where you just really learn the skills, not necessarily itself what to do, how to make it. You still have to put the chef need twist on things. So with coming into these restaurants, was there anything really eye-opening to you in the beginning? Did you have any experiences where it was just like, yo, I may need to really brand myself even more? Did anything kind of motivate you to really want to move to the side a little bit? Because we were talking about, restaurants will try to come and get you, will try to take certain things from you, will try to patent things as their own or copyright it as their own when it's really you. So specifically in your case, what was that experience like?
So, being a Black woman, you don't see a lot of those in the restaurant, especially a leader. And I was promoted a leader in my early 20s. That was like, I started seeing the hatred side of the business. A lot of people don't want to see you grow, and it'd be a lot of your own people too, but it'd be a lot of men, it'd be a lot of different. So me being so talented and so ambitious, like I'm the type of person that I have to be to work on time. I cannot miss a day. And that's because that comes from me being a single mom, knowing that every dollar counts. So with that ambition plus cooking good, I've gained a lot of haters. Plus, I'm usually like the people person at a job, and everybody loves me, but you always gonna have that one or two people that hate you because everybody loves you. So I went through that so many times in these 13 years at these restaurants that I kept saying to myself, I got to have my own thing because eventually I'm gonna leave this. Like this, I think my job that I'm working at now would be my last restaurant. I'm just trying to basically use their money to grow my business because I've gotten so tired of trying to prove myself. Plus, they will work me like a bone. Once they see you work hard, they'll work you like a dog, but they won't pay you. And because I'm black and I'm a black woman, I never get the money that I deserve. I either have to beg for it or I have to kiss behind or do more work than others. And it's just caused me to feel like I'm a leader. I have to get my own stuff. So that's basically what it is. Like the hatred at jobs really caused me to just like push myself more into my own.
You really ain't lying, man. It's if it's one of the biggest targets or one of the most targeted is the black woman, especially when she knows her worth, she knows her value, when she works hard, when she does everything that she's supposed to do and doesn't give any opposition or doesn't give any backlash from it. But nonetheless, you just get all of that pouring down on you, and that's exhausting. To show up every day and be your best self, be that people person, be the life of the party. Because I'm telling y'all, man, when I walked in that room, it was just a presence. You heard her, she was smiling, everybody was talking to her. And not even just because of the food. Some people weren't even eating, but they were just coming in to talk. You know what I'm saying? So you have that aura about you, man. People will gravitate towards that. And people will definitely take that kindness for a weakness. But when when you know what's going on, when you've been in this industry so long, you done seen it all. You done been through it all. But like you said, you recognize that because I'm the same way. I'm thinking about what I want to do full time and how I want to live life on my own terms. Wake up and do whatever I want to do. If I want to have an interview today and travel out the country, let's go do it. But I also recognize that, it's stepping stones to get to that. And while I'm gonna work as hard as I can to build this dream. But no, matter of fact, the second I can get out of there, I'm out of there. There's no questions asked. It's none of that. There's nothing against anybody. But when you see the potential, when you just know what you bring to the table, when you know what you can do when exposed to the right people, it's nothing because you've done it so many times in in corporate settings, in different jobs. Anywhere you go, everybody knows Chef Nee. Anywhere I go, everybody knows tomorrow you're gonna leave your mark wherever you go. And when you just have that about you, when you finally make it to that point, it's over. It's no questions asked. It's nothing that you have to think about. So you spoke earlier at the beginning about really no specialties. You love everything. I saw you post. You didn't feel like using bread the other day. You made that crazy red snapper sandwich, man. I've been watching. I'm on it now. I've been going through everything. Yeah, post ain't getting past me. So where did the infused part come in? Was that kind of first along the journey? Did you just start experimenting? Did it really come as a project from someone else? Was it something you wanted to do? How was that incorporated into what you do?
Okay, so my business name is actually Noise Infusions, which is my son name is Zion, right? So I'm a loud, obnoxious person. So Noise, I just turned his name backwards and spelled noise. And then Infusions is his name again. But I also infuse food with marijuana because I love smoking weed. So I said, why not do two things I love together? And at the time, it was booming. Everybody wanted to try edibles and all that. So I love science. So I kind of infused the two together, cooking and science. And I kind of played around with it in my kitchen for months and invested in machines and just like started with the Ziploc bag treats to now, I got labels and stuff on my bags and the nice bags and stuff. So I just kind of did that because I love both. And everybody around me was just trying out edibles. I'm like, let me try this. I know how to bake. So let me try to see what I can do. And that's just how I started the infusion part. And then, down the line, people were like, oh, can you infuse fried chicken? You can infuse anything. And I did my research and I studied. Anytime I got free time, I study any new thing I can do to enhance my cooking.
Now that's also something that I wanted to touch on too, research and just still remaining a student of the game despite you, because you get to a point, you talk to somebody who has been doing this since they were in their teen years. Like they may feel as though this is it. Like I've amassed what I wanted to do. I got there. I can write a book about it. You're going to leave the book behind, everything like that. Now, for you personally, how active are you when it still comes to research, when it still comes to trying new things, reading up on things, looking at what other people do? How important would you say that being current, being up on the top, because things are always changing. Like you said, there was an edible craze. There was a time where people just wanted to do that. Then people just moved from the brownies and the Rice Krispies, and which we were really used to. Now they doing everything. I've been to some trucks. It's just like, bro, I didn't even know you could infuse that. Like I didn't even know that you could put two and two together like that. So for you, how important is it to still constantly be doing your research, still open to learning and trying new things?
It is very important to me. Actually, I will quit a job if I'm not learning. Like if I've been at a job a while, and most people say, "Oh, you had a lot of jobs." I've had a lot of jobs, but I've also had a different pay every time, and I've learned different things. Like my new job, I didn't know a lot of stuff they got going on there. I thought I was the shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I got my own business, but actually at my new job, which I work at Meat Market in Hyde Park, I'm learning a lot of new things from a lot of great chefs. We got chefs in there from London, chef in there from Sri Lanka. So like I'm just soaking up all that knowledge because it's been a minute since I've been at a job where I can get knowledge. A lot of my jobs that recently in the past has been like, all right, you already know all this, you mastered this. But this one I can't even master yet because we got like different specials every day. And it's like I'm learning new stuff. So like I'm very like hip to learning stuff right on the moment. Like if I don't know something, I pull out my phone real quick and Google it and look it up and study it. And that doesn't even just go for food. That goes for anything. I'm like a person who's a sponge for knowledge. I just want to learn, you know. So you never stop learning. And I feel like if I'm going to be my own business owner, I got to learn everything I can.
Man, I didn't know you were at Meat Market, but just from how people, I haven't been personally, but just from how people talk about it at my job, I never heard a bad review. So y'all doing the right thing in there, London, Sri Lanka, Harbor Island, y'all making it happen for sure. So I love to see that, but I also love that message because I feel like it just doesn't necessarily apply to you, but because they're hearing it in the field that you're in with the expertise that you have, you always have to remain a student, man. You always have to, like you said, you're naturally just an inquisitive person. If something is not clicking for you right away, or if you never heard it before, if it's new, what's up? You got everything at your disposal. YouTube University, Google, everything can be found on the web in some capacity. But the fact that you're still in it, because we gonna say it time and time again. You know what you do. Chef Nee gonna put it down every single time. But that's not to say you can't add something different to it. Learn something new. Add a different. You want to be as much of a Swiss Army knife as possible. And how can you continue to stay sharp if you just stick in your old ways? The same way things are changing, the same way people are adapting to different things, new things are coming out. Who knows? 5 years from now, we could be talking about something totally different in the culinary industry. How things are being made, new food on the market. Different. I read that post all the time. It's a joke, but they saying when y'all coming out with some new food, like some new meat or animal or something like that. So we don't know really what is going to happen, but the fact that you, like you said, like that sponge, continue to soak up, make things happen. I love that. Okay, so now I want to kind of go futuristic a little bit. I want to think about what this looks like if you could have things your way, what this looks like as you continue to brand yourself, move into what you're doing, and eventually become a millionaire, like you said, because it's not like this is not going to really be a thought, or this is not really just going to be just something that we talk about here. Everything that we've talked about on this podcast and all these episodes, 140 plus, we bring them to life. We make things happen. So the fact that you already spoke it on the podcast, it's going to happen. I'm just waiting on just waiting on you to hit us like, yo, yesterday's price is not today's price. You know what I'm saying? So if you could really have things your way, we think about, no restaurants anymore. Everything Chef Needs way. What do you want to do? Are we going the food truck route? Are you building your own restaurant? Are you feeding communities? Are you doing catering? What are you really and if it's not just one thing specific, then you can give it to me all. But what really does this look like to have things running the way you want to?
So I want my own catering studio. I enjoy cooking for a large number of people. See, a restaurant, except for Meat Market, you're in a box, basically. You have to prepare the same things all over and over. You can change it up every now and then, but with catering, I can always do something new. I can be creative. So I want my own catering studio, and I've always had a dream of having because I love music. So I want to have like a venue where I have like changing up the menu for different events and have different music artists, live bands, live music, kind of like something like that. I wouldn't say Seventh and Grove, but more exquisite than Seventh and Grove. More like you coming in here for a blues night, and I cater a menu based on that night. You know what I'm saying? So something like that. But moreover, just have my own catering studio and being on the go, traveling different cities, cooking for people, meeting people, just being known for being that girl that can provide the large crowds. You know, the food, because a lot of people can cook for large crowds, but they don't be good. Several events I've been to, they have large amounts of food and they say they don't got no seasoning, no nothing in it. I specialize in that. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I make my own seasonings. I make my own sauces. So that I want to have my own collection, my own line of seasonings, my own line of sauces and stuff. And yeah, that's the route I'm going. If it's gonna be perfect for me, my own catering studio, so I can just play with food any kind of way I want to.
A studio. That's a vibe because you get a little bit of everything all in one. Like you said, the
Yeah.
live band. So I'm thinking of even for those of y'all who don't really know, like Seventh and Grove, it's really a vibe in there. Like you can really go in there, day party it, brunch it, middle of the week it, weekend it, event there, everything like that. So I'm digging that. But I love the idea that for you it may not really be a challenge, but to me it seems like you go the extra mile. You do what you have to do because, like you said, cooking, it's easy to cook for the family, easy to cook for the children. Honestly, I feel like as a kid, I ate everything. So it don't even really matter. Like good. But I will say though, I have to give kids their credit. Kids are brutally honest. So if they don't like something, like they'll let you know, or they'll still be sitting on that plate, or they not rocking with it or nothing like that. So I will give them that. But I will also say when it comes to a large a large multitude of people, it's different. It's different just prepping 10 wings versus 100. 150, 300, something like that. You know, it's totally different because we didn't had you and me both. We done been to them events or we done had them platters where it's just like, oh yeah, you could tell they catered this, or you could tell, this was just a large little order. They kind of put everything together. They ain't really individualized. They ain't really do what they had to do to set it up. So I love that you take that under your wing because it's just like once you get that far, once you get that big, once you're doing events, weddings, everything like that. Once you have that studio set up, oh well, it makes the smaller stuff just that's a walk in the park. That's easy. That's just something, whatever. And the fact that you want to add traveling to it, I love that. It's going to give you different exposure, different places, different spaces, different faces, all of that. So from down to business to chef me, we gonna make it happen. We definitely gonna, this interview alone is just gonna put you out there, put you in front of different people. But what you're doing in the area, it speaks for itself. Like I said, we're definitely gonna see you at more events. I don't doubt that, and I know that as your reach just continues to expand, so will the impact, so will what you be doing. And before you know it, you're gonna have the million dollar catering studio. You just need to let us know where to pull up to.
That's
So
what I'm going
we
for.
trying to do that for sure. Now,
So my business slogan is a taste of love. And that is why I make my own seasonings and sauces and stuff. I want you to be able to taste love every time you eat my food. So that's why, you was over there greasing, like, probably falling in love while you was eating those wings. But that's the purpose. You know what I'm saying? The larger it gets, I still want to provide that love in there. Just like if you was at home at your mom's house eating a home cooked meal.
for sure. Because I was kind of mad. I got the banana pudding on my way out. I was helping clean up. Everybody kept looking like, "Yo, whose banana pudding is this?" I'm like, "Bro, like, relax. Like that's how good the food was. Everybody scavenging it." So I get home, I put it in the fridge. I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna get it tonight." Because I got home, I was just like, I'm a little tired, whatever. Open the fridge. My boy like, "Yeah, this for me." I said, "Now, bro, why would that be for you? Like, I didn't say it. I didn't even tell you what was in there. You just open the fridge, you see it in there, like, okay, cool." And he asked me on my way out. He thought he was slick. So now I'm trying to get out, trying to be nice. He said, "So is it?" I said, "Bro, do you want some?" I said, "You can't even have some. It's a cup. So if you start eating it, it's yours." I said, "Just have it, bro." So I stayed for a little bit, watched his reaction. Oh, he was good. He didn't even know who you were. He didn't even know the food. He didn't even know what I had before that. So that just really goes to show the impact and how food brings people together and stories and everything like that. But once I heard that your own seasoning route and just that regard, that opens up a totally different perspective for me. That's different. That's not something that everybody is doing, and I love that, man. And I can't really wait to see what this does for you, where the exposure goes, everything, just from this one event, just from this one showcase. And you telling me now that you've been doing this for years, I could only imagine just some of the smiles, some of the reviews, the testimonials that you've been able to bring together with people. So I'm excited that we locked in now. Like I said, I'm actually about to, when I end this, I'm gonna turn your post notifications on my podcast page. Cause I ain't, like I said, I'm already seeing it, the sandwiches, what you got going on, the desserts, all of that, but I need to make sure I don't miss a beat. And I'm excited for
Here
that.
you go.
So for
Well,
everybody
thank
out
you.
there, for everybody, of course, thank you. For everybody out there tapping in, for everybody out there, whether they be aspiring chefs, current chefs, business owners, entrepreneurs, artists, anything like that. Is there anything out there that you want them to know about you when it comes to whether it just be life, when it comes to your food, what you're doing, your vision, the logo, the brand, anything like that? Anything you feel like we haven't touched on today? Any even last words that you want to leave for people out there? Because I feel like for as much as you've been through, for the story that you have, life could have went totally different for you. Life was going totally different for you at one point. But what did you do? You didn't let that break you. You let it make you. You took some things under your belt. You can sit back and say that, hey, I was definitely on the wrong path. I was definitely going down some ways I shouldn't have been. But look at me now and look at making things happen. So is there anything you want to even impart on the people out there that'll be tapping into this interview?
I just want to say, don't give up. Okay. I've had a lot of trying times, from broken families to broken relationships, from being a single mom for 15 years, and I still have never given up. Don't give up. If you have a dream, strive for it. I'm still not where I want to be, but I guarantee, because I manifest it every day, I'm going to be that millionaire chef. I am, off my own name, Noise Infusions. So just remember that name. It's going somewhere.
And I love I love now that I know your son's name is Zion. That's even more intentional behind the brand. So yeah, we manifested it. It's done. At this point, we're just waiting for you to walk into the studio. The keys are already made for you. It's already done. It's just a matter of when and where. So, like I said, from me to you, I'm greatly appreciative. One, just for the quick turnaround. One, just for everything you did. One, just for being the life. Just for having that aura, just for having that energy, because I gravitated towards that. Like I said, when I walked in, because I smelled it. It smelled very good. But once you it's one thing. I could have walked in, I could have just smelled it, hi, bye, walk back out. No, we started talking, and Bond's mom came in, we started taking pictures, everything like that. So it was just like, to know all of that, and not to say that even I passed judgment in that moment, but to hear now your story, to hear everything that you went through and been through. Damn, you could have acted totally different. You could have had a totally different R. You could have really just kept a professional chef. That's it. I did the food. It's good. Now what? I'm about to pack up. I'm out of here. But the fact that you're so just down to earth, so humble, and so that big smile, man, it was just crazy. So it's just like, to know all of that, to know that no matter what life threw at you, you still came up on top of it, and you taking care of your family, your responsibilities, your business, and everything like that. And people trying to, take advantage of you, take that kindness for weakness, but you still stand 10 toes tall. Man, I got to take my hat. I don't have a hat on, but I got to take it off to you, because
Thank
it's
you.
amazing. It's amazing. So now, arguably the most important part of the interview. Not to say anything that you said prior to this was not important, but this is where we really bring everybody together. This is the big call to action. For the people out there tapping in, for everybody, like I said, your side, my side, we're going to have a lot of newcomers along the way, people in the Tampa area, New York. Podcast has some reach. So, what are the best places to tap in with you? Where can people find you? Where can people even book you? Check out the food, check out the menu, recipes, everything of the sort.
So y'all can find me on Instagram, Chef Nee _93. Also Facebook, Chef Nee Marie. I don't have a website yet. I'm working on that. But you can also contact me on there. Hit me up anytime and book me. I'm also at Meat Market. You can come in there and look for me as well. But for the most part, Instagram and Facebook is where I'm at until I really get, because I'm not really social media savvy. So that's why, like, I'm still learning how to work all this internet stuff. But yeah, that's where you can reach me at Chef Nee _93 at Instagram, and Chef Nee Marie on Facebook.
And I'm gonna make sure I put all of that in the bio when we get it all together. And she is very responsive, y'all. She, just to show y'all how responsive she was. So I emailed the Zoom link to her, and I was going to Instagram to DM. Literally, I sent the Zoom link to the email. Not even a minute later, I'm pulling up Instagram to open to DM her to say, hey, just sent it over, make sure everything is good. By the time I had that message typed up and sent, she had already emailed me back and said, got it, looking forward to it, let's get it. So I love stuff like that, man, because it just lets you know that you don't need every single thing every single time. As long as you know your outlets, you comfortable with what you know with, responsive on that, she gonna get it. So look, I'm calling all my followers out there. I know y'all love to eat, y'all greedy. When we did the interview with Chef Brent and y'all was on it, check out Chef Nee Marie, man. Please, I'm telling y'all, whether you're in the Tampa area or not, it's gonna be $1 million chef, $1 million studio coming, all of that. So before you know it, it's gonna be a household name. So Chef Nee, I thank you so much. Down to business, we're officially locked in with you. Where it's done,
Thank you.
it's over, it's up. Anything that we can do to support, to everybody out there, whether you're on Instagram Live, whether you're tapping into this on YouTube, website, anything like that, Thank you. I love you. This has been another episode of the Down to Business podcast. Here with Tamar Turner.
Thank you so much.